by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session that was created for a client that was on the receiving end of an attempt of cancel culture in their past. They said something, it was taken out of context, it then went through a process where their whole livelihood was at stake, and that was very traumatizing for them. I was working with them at a point where something else was happening that was leading to an element of, let's say, investigation. It wasn't as extreme as the past, but because they had that past, they were very on edge, very anxious. And they had a presentation to certain key people that they were worried that because of their past, they were going to come across as very defensive or anxious or, kind of on edge. And they didn't want to be that way. So this hypnosis session has an element of finding resource states, giving a different perspective and narrative to the past, harnessing resource states from a time when they were very calm and confident and focused, and then future pacing that in a form of performance anxiety hypnosis so they could actually use it in the very context that would be useful, which was this upcoming presentation. Now, I think anyone that has been on the receiving end of a bit of a witch hunt will get some value from this because they could think back to the past and extract more wisdom from it, give it a different narrative. But some of the suggestions are going to be highly specific to the client that I was working with. So if you are dealing with either performance anxiety for an upcoming presentation or feeling like you're being ambushed or there's politics going on that you're on the receiving end of, then there will be a link in the description where you can book a free consultation call to explore working with me directly, and then we can have that conversation about what it would mean to create something specifically for you. For now, though, you might get some value from this session, even though it was created for someone else. So find a quiet, comfortable place, ideally in the kind of location where you're not going to be disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that feeling of resourcefulness. And as you exhale, feel a sense of release, releasing any tension in your eyelids, and just enabling any tension to leave your body as you exhale. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension. Each breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. And I want you to scan your body for any clues of tension, stress, any tightness. As you breathe in, just imagine a color that represents pure, resourceful relaxation. Maybe a calming blue or a soothing white. And just imagine breathing in that resourceful relaxation. Imagine it going down your windpipe into your lungs. And just imagine what it would be like for your heart to extract that resourceful relaxation and to distribute it to every cell in your body. As you feel your body starting to release tension, as your body relaxes, your breathing slows down. Your inward breath becomes deeper, and your exhale is elongated. Breathing in that distilled, resourceful relaxation. And as you exhale, just imagine any echoes of worries, tension, stress or insecurities just leaving your body like a shadow. Breathing in the lightness, darkness leaving your body. Each breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed. And as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And just imagine keeping your body exactly where it is, and allow your imagination to float up outside of your body, almost like you're looking down on yourself. But it's just your imagination. You can float through ceilings, through a rooftop, and just imagine floating through space and time to a forest on a sunny day. Maybe you can imagine floating over towns, roads, villages, rivers or streams, and find your way to that forest. And as you touch down in the forest, perhaps near a track, just imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is suitable to be there in that forest. And I want you to connect with that feeling of stillness, quietness, that ability to breathe in such a way that it's almost silent, like your diaphragm is doing all the work. The breath goes in through your nose and out through your nose, and the world doesn't know. And I want you to imagine there in that forest. Perhaps you can see sunshine and blue skies through the canopy. Maybe you can imagine hearing the sounds of birds, the breeze going through leaves in the trees. Maybe there's smells that are unique to that forest. But I want you to connect with the stillness. That part of you that knows how to be relaxed and calm, but still very aware. In fact, as your physical body becomes silent, your sensory acuity, your hearing, your attention to detail increases. So if there is a sound of something, like a deer, you'll know. And I want you to feel that sense of alignment, connection, where time is distorted. And when you connect to that place, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Continue to breathe in that distilled, resourceful relaxation. But I want you to imagine somewhere in this forest is a portal. You could think of the portal as a way of migrating through space and time. And the portal can be whatever you want it to be. A glowing spiral, a science fiction portal, or a portal like Alice through the looking glass. But I want you to imagine that this portal can take you back in time at your current age to observe the past with new eyes, new perspective. And the portal will first take you to what could be the most challenging time of your life. Uncertainty, unfairness, politics, agendas. But you will go back feeling resourceful. You will go back feeling confident. And you have a singular mission, and that is to extract all of the wisdom from that past. Imagine approaching the portal, and as I count down from 5 to 1, you will imagine walking through the portal and becoming an invisible entity in that past. You can observe everything, but nobody will know you are there. 5, standing in front of the portal. 4, taking a step forward. 3, walking through the portal. 2, feeling a weird sense of travel in a 4-dimensional way through space and time, and then 1, arriving at this place in time. And I wonder what part you return to. Maybe a moment before something happens, before words are said, before words are misconstrued or even hijacked. Just observe it as it happens, but like a fly on the wall, an external observer. Notice things you didn't notice at the time, and then almost see, like a single domino hitting another, hitting a number, what the chain reaction of that initial event was. You can speed up time. You can see what took place over weeks or months, within seconds or minutes. But with this new perspective, I want you to think, knowing what I now know, what would I do differently? And I want you to imagine rewinding it. And at the very point where words are said, rewind it before that and extract your current wisdom into that version of you and see what they do differently. Almost like a parallel universe where a new reality is created, and then play that forward, see that version of you with your current wisdom, applying it in that context. And if it changes history, creating a new timeline, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And just allow that parallel universe to exist. But go back to what actually happened. Keep what actually happened in the conversation the same. But then observe the point where things get escalated, where the whirring of a machine of cancel culture starts in motion. And just assume you can't change what led up to that point, but you can change it from that point onwards. Observe what happened, and then rewind it. Maybe to a specific moment where certain wisdom or resources, if given to that version of you, perhaps would have still led to the same outcome, but with less stress, less worry, less anxiety. And when you find that crossroads, that intervention point, let me know by nodding your head. Extract the wisdom you now have to that moment and see that version of you dealing with things differently. The outcome may remain the same, but the emotional impact on you was different. I want you to see yourself with different qualities during that period of time. Maybe you see yourself as more stoic, accepting certain things. See yourself almost utilizing some of the challenges. Maybe it gives you resilience. They say the strongest and tallest trees weather the fiercest storms. And I want you to see that by adding just one quality, one resource, one perspective, that version of you is emboldened, strengthened, empowered through the injustice. You didn't want it, you didn't choose it, you didn't deserve it. But you are harnessing it. And if you can see that version of you harnessing the injustice, the unfairness, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. I want you to get a sense that sometimes past can create a sensitivity, a vigilance, a caution. But what if the anxiety doesn't improve things? What if it makes things worse? I want you to come to a conclusion, a narrative. Not that if that thing happened, oh no, it's happening again, but a different narrative. If I can handle that, I can handle anything. If you feel that you can extract a new, empowering narrative to that past event, nod your head and feel that narrative updating from that timeline all the way to the present, rippling through space and time, giving you that strength, that resilience, that wisdom in the present. You are not weakened by that. You are strengthened by it. The strongest steel is beaten the most. So I want you to feel stronger now. I want you to imagine leaving that moment in time back through the portal. But instead of returning to your present, you will return to a time when you were at your most confident, calm, focused or authoritative. A time when you held your own. A time when you articulated things in the way that made sense. No weakness, no defensiveness. Your unconscious will take you to a relevant memory. And as I count from 5 to 1, you will imagine walking through the portal and finding that memory. 5, standing in front of the portal. 4, willing to leave that past now with a new, strong narrative. 3, walking through the portal. 2, feeling a sense of being transported and traveling. And then 1, arriving. Again, an invisible entity. Nobody can see you, nobody knows you're there. But you get to see everything. And I want you to see that version of you oozing confidence, a calmness, that level of focus, and that ability to be authoritative without arrogant, to be knowledgeable without demeaning to any others, powerful yet not patronizing. And when you can find that version of you, observe them in that moment. See how they breathe, their facial expressions, their posture. And I want you to play that game of mimicry. Breathe how that version of you is breathing. Have that similar facial expression or posture. That's it. And I want you to imagine seeing a glowing circle beneath them. And allow this circle to represent this state. And if your unconscious feels that this state then would be useful for something for you in the future, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And then step into that version of you. Feel how it feels, and not to observe, but to experience that confidence, that calmness. Notice your center of gravity when you feel this way. Are you breathing from the chest or the diaphragm? What muscles are tense and what muscles are relaxed? How tight is your jaw? Is there any inner dialogue? Consider this state a combination log of thoughts, sensations, and physiology. And as you decode that combination log, let's give it a way of harnessing and automatically creating this state whenever you need it. I want you to locate a place in your body where you feel these resources at their most powerful and just point to that location. That's it. And I want you to imagine what it would be like if there was a shape or a color there in that location. As we create a mnemonic to harness this whenever you need it. A three-dimensional shape in that location. Give it a color, and then make the color glow brighter. Make the shape slightly larger, and notice if the shape moves, spins, pulsates. And I want you to amplify the color, the size, and the movement so that it amplifies this feeling. But you get diminishing returns. The color gets too bright, the feeling goes down. The shape gets too big. Instead of enhancing confidence, it reduces it. And I want you to find the optimal size, shape, color, and movement. And then give it a sound. Maybe it's a sound like a vibration, a frequency. And just feel that this is a useful state. That glowing circle beneath your feet, turn it into a cylinder, like a beam surrounding you, bathing in this feeling. And notice that if you need to talk in this state, how articulate, how confident, how measured you come across. And if this feels like it might be useful in your future, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And whenever you think of that shape in that location, that beam of light in that specific shade of color, you'll start to feel this way again. So we're going to go through the portal one final time, but this time the future. A specific time and place in your future where this resource would be most useful for you to come across in the way that you wish to come across. Maybe it's a room with a table, with a projector and with a screen, or maybe something else. Make your way to the portal, but still keeping this feeling, still having that beam of light all around you. And as you walk through the portal, you will find yourself again as that invisible observer to a meeting. 5, standing in front of the portal. 4, stepping towards the portal. 3, into the portal. 2, feel, whoosh, traveling through space and time. And then 1, arriving in a future that hasn't happened yet. I want you to see yourself arriving for a meeting. See how you're dressed. See how your posture is. But you notice something that gives you a sense of a perspective that this version of you is calm and relaxed. Maybe it's the way that you're sitting, the way that you're drinking, maybe a glass of water or a hot drink. certain mannerisms let you know that you are not fazed by this. You relish this. Nothing can break your focus or your calm. Maybe see yourself at a table, close to a laptop. But that version of you, see that glowing circle beneath your feet. See a shape in a particular location, almost like you have X-ray vision. See it there in you. And there might be clues as to your facial expression, small talk, a relaxed smile before your presentation starts. But when it starts, I want you to see how composed you come across. There will be clues to your breathing rate based on shoulder movements, maybe your diaphragm expanding. That version of you reads the room well. That version of you has a singular mission. And that mission is not to seek permission or even approval. Maybe it's to educate. Maybe it's to share knowledge. Whatever mission is most empowering, see that version of you with that singular mission. And you are not the imposter in the room. You are the one-eyed king. Because in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. That version of you has more knowledge, more understanding on that topic than anyone else in that room. And see yourself acting with that level of credibility and authority. Slow and measured. There is no tonality that is seeking permission or approval. Factual, articulate, confident. And I want you to see that it doesn't matter the facial expressions or body language of anyone else in that room. Arms crossed, doesn't matter. Disinterested look, doesn't matter. Nothing that can happen in that room can faze you. And when you observe that, let me know by nodding your head. And then rewind it to the beginning, and then step into that version of you, bringing those resources of confidence, calmness, focus, and authority, oozing credibility. You can feel that beam of light bathing all around you. That sound, that color, that shape, that movement lets you know that you are in a state where you are unflappable. Nothing can faze you. You relish this. You live for this. And when you feel that way, just imagine the right words come at the right time. Your tonality strong and confident. You run through your presentation exactly as you intend to. And any questions, you deal with them in a calm, clear, confident way. And when you feel that this would be useful, and you feel that you're priming the very neural pathways to activate this state in that context, let me know by nodding your head. And don't be surprised if, when you think of that future moment, you imagine that version of you, either as a third person or first person there, relishing it, not fazed by it, not daunted by it. Consider this to be planting a seed in your subconscious mind that will grow the closer it gets to that moment in time. And as the day arrives, this is the state you will activate. And just imagine being in that first person perspective, hearing dismissive questions, seeing unimpressed facial expressions or arms folded. And I want you to get a sense that all it does is galvanize your resources, encourages you to be even more calm and confident. It's time to leave this place, and as you leave this place, you go through the portal and find yourself hovering over your body, looking down exactly where you are now. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, and you will awaken with all the wisdom from your past and all the resources in your future. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.